no.
Ocho Cinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
His team hasn't won a national championship since before he was even born.
Diggs gone for the touchdown. Caldwell Pope. How about that one, baby? Let's go. Come on.
Come back, Kelly.
I love college football.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers.
Roll Tide, roll. RMFT. Roll motherfucking Tide.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the College Football Weekly Matchup. Week number 3. We had some hell of a games last week, especially hanging out at Josh's house. We all were up there. We all went to Josh's house for a bunch of games. Almost caused a very upset Josh, but ended up pulling out to a great weekend, a great game Saturday. We'll start with Bryson first. We don't usually start with Bryson. We'll go to Josh last. We'll stay Josh for last. Bryson.
Yes, sir.
It was tough for you. We'll get to that game in a bit. But how was your weekend?
Great weekend. Great meeting Josh. Your house is beautiful. Thank you for the invitation. I think that would be the last invitation we'll get from you.
Nah.
But a lot of hell of a games, a lot of good upsets. I told some of y'all about one game. I love it. Put some respect in their name. I think they're going to pull the UCF National Championship this year. But yeah, overall, great weekend.
Gotcha. Josh. Yeah. How was your weekend?
Man, it was intense early Saturday, man. But I really enjoyed y'all coming down. It was really nice to meet y'all in person. We had some really expensive wings. I hope that everybody got reimbursed what they were wanting to get reimbursed for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed having y'all here, and y'all are always welcome to come down. I know it's a long way, but y'all are always welcome to come down on football Saturday and watch football. I was really excited about showing y'all how I do football Saturdays. It's like that every Saturday until December. So, that was a cool experience. My team didn't perform very well, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Gotcha.
I mean, I felt like I was in Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, maybe we'll come down the end of the year. Maybe one of the end of the year games. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Bryson's camera. All right. Anyway, before we get into recapping some of the games, we'll get into the records here. Bryson leads away. He's at 9-5. Went 4-3 last week. I do have him written down this week, Josh. I went ahead and written down. You can tell me if I'm wrong. So Bryson is leading the way. Like I said, 4-3 this week. Nobody really had a good week this week. He is 9-5 total. Josh, he went 3-4. He is at 7-7. He's in second place. And then I did awful. I went 2-5. I got lucky on the last game. They pulled it out for me. 6-8. And then Preston, he also went 3-4. He is tied with me at the bottom, 6-8. So we're all somewhat close. Still a lot of football left to be played. But let's recap some games here. Let's talk some games that happened last week. We're going to start. Are you good?
I had a phone call, so I probably missed like the last 45 seconds.
I was just recapping the records. I said, Bryson, you're leading the way at 9-5. How do you feel, Bryson?
It's a weird feeling. Never been here before, But yeah, hopefully keep the good records up. It's going to all come down to the bowl season, I believe. But it feels pretty good at the moment.
Well, the bowl, I think we'll do the bowl and the regular season separate. Yeah, we'll do that separate. So you're good for the regular season. That's what we did last time. All right. So let's recap some of the games. We're going straight to the 12 o'clock game. We are going Alabama holding on and winning 20-19, a very intense game. We're going to kick it off to him first. We're going to go to Josh. Josh, what's your thoughts on Alabama's performance, and is Texas back?
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know about we was talking about overreactions last in that earlier show, the NFL show. Really not sure about Texas being back as much as Alabama playing horribly. I think it got into their head about the 20-point spread, getting into the players' head, the little rat poison, 13 penalties for over 100 yards, the worst I've ever seen Alabama play. Got to give credit to the Texas fans. They packed that stadium out. It was loud. I don't think Alabama has ever played in an environment like that. And, it's hard for me to say that because we do play in the SEC, and they do go on the road to Auburn, to LSU, and, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. They've been on the road in the swamp in Florida. But the thing is that these SEC schools are by law have to allot so many tickets to the opposing school by the SEC rules. Well, this wasn't an SEC game, so therefore Texas gave us a whopping 5,000 tickets, and I think that's about all we had. So 105,000 fans in there, probably 98,000 of them were Texas fans. I think that got into Alabama's head. Worst officiated game I've ever seen in my life. If I'm a Texas fan, I'm really upset. There were some missed calls.
On both sides, yeah.
Yeah, if I was a Texas fan, I would be highly upset. I mean, the roughing the passer against Ewers, I don't agree with, but there were some face mask calls Alabama didn't get called on. That in the end zone could have been a safety, could have been called a safety. Alabama, as big as an Alabama fan I am a fan of football, and I see it how I see it. Alabama should have lost that game, and is very lucky to have a W in the record books. In 5 years from now, nobody's gonna remember that, but they'll see a W.
Gotcha. Bryson, we're going to your most hated team in football.
Yeah.
Are they back? Is Texas back? Are they almost back? Or did Alabama just play that bad?
I think Alabama just played bad. I still don't believe Texas is back. All I got to say is Bryce Young got some ice in his veins. I mean, the way, the last 2 minutes of the game, driving the ball down the field, I mean, that's a Heisman moment for you. Again, he might be second player to ever go back-to-back Heisman's. I could see that. So it's like Quinn, make sure I say his name right, Edwards, got injured. They ever say what his injury was? Was it his shoulder or collar?
Clavicle.
But, that sucks, being out early game. I think it might have been a different outcome, if he was in the game.
So is he out for the season or
5 or 6 weeks?
5 or 6 weeks. Okay.
So I was going to ask y'all, if he was still in the game, you think there might have been a different outcome?
I like the other quarterback personally. It might have been a different outcome, but I think
the other quarterback was also a 5-star recruit who had more experience in that, had more experience in that system. I also know that Alabama's play calling changed when the other quarterback came in as well, but they weren't really able to do nothing. I think they should have stayed with the run game. Bill O'Brien, if he took that Nebraska job today, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I believe they went away from the run game a little bit. I think that's where they struggled because all they had to do was keep running the ball, score one time, and they could have had a chance to win it.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. Tough game. Alabama. Are you worried about Alabama's offensive line? How worried are you about the offensive line, Josh?
I am a little worried about the offensive line. I know we got a new offensive line coach. I don't know if our offensive coordinator is playing to the strengths of the offensive line. If they could put together like they did in the SEC championship last year, I mean, it's all the same guys. I know that the talent is there. I am concerned, especially going on the road to Arkansas here in a couple of weeks, and on the road to Tennessee. I am a little worried about the offensive line, but I don't expect Alabama to perform that way again.
Gotcha. Yeah, Georgia, I mean, I'm not throwing on Georgia. I know they played Samford, but they didn't look all that good either. Only beat Samford 33-0. I went back and looked at some of the game.
Samford's coach and Kirby
but they did play backups.
They're best friends. Like, they're real good friends. Samford's coach and Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart's from Alabama. And
Gotcha.
Samford's in Alabama. They may have went to high school together.
So you think they let it easy on them?
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Okay.
they got the game plan going into Columbia this Saturday at 12. So,
gotcha. All right, next game to talk about here. Going straight to Bryson here. Yeah, I didn't think it would happen. I talked bad about him. I'm more on the side A&M is not great at all. I mean, that's me personally. But App State coming up with a big win. They proved me wrong. Did they end up in the ranking?
No, they did not. They did not. And I'm a little upset about that. Texas
17-14.
got in. Yeah. Texas got in, but you ain't going to put App State in. I believe that they deserve a little shot. Maybe at number 25. Hell, but
I give them one more week. You got to remember they did lose to North Carolina. North Carolina sucks.
But great game from App State. A great defensive battle. Like we said before the podcast, a big thing that really helped App State win this game was they had 41 minutes of possession of that game, and A&M only had 18. A&M had 2 turnovers. I mean, App State was also 3 for 5 with 4th down conversions. I think Haas King is overrated. I don't think he's a good quarterback. Chase Bryce did his thing with 15 for 30, 134 yards, 1 touchdown. Appalachian State, they're facing Troy this weekend. I think that's going to be another W. But
Could be a good game, though. The spread's not that much different.
Only 12.5.
Troy, I think Troy's not a bad team. I'm not aware, but I've heard Troy's not that terrible.
But yeah, I'm glad to see that. I know a lot of people are, shitting on them, but great to see that.
I wouldn't say a lot of people were shitting on them. I think a lot of people was high on Texas A&M, which I wasn't super high on Texas A&M. I just thought Texas A&M was a way better team. But yeah, I mean, Josh, what's your thoughts? I mean, is Texas A&M just not that good, or is App State, a pretty good team, or what's your thoughts?
Texas A&M, their players are very good. The problem is Jimbo Fisher. See, Jimbo Fisher is running a 2014 offense here in 2022. If you go to your refrigerator and get out a gallon of milk and it says 2014, you're gonna throw it away. But here is Jimbo Fisher.
Time out. I'd probably throw away the whole damn refrigerator. Not just throw away the milk.
Now listen to this analogy. Now, if you go to the refrigerator and you got some milk in there and it's dated 2014, you're gonna chunk it. Well, every Saturday, Jimbo Fisher has you drinking 2014 offense. It's like, come on, man, you got all this talent. Some of these freshmen ain't gonna stick around. Some of these true freshmen that out of that outstanding recruiting class ain't gonna stick around, man. They're gonna get better NIL deals. They're gonna be gone. Jimbo Fisher's seat is hot. If Miami comes into College Station and he loses back to back, his seat is fire hot. And if he goes to Tuscaloosa and gets embarrassed by 30 or 40 points, he might be gone.
What about his contract, though? He does have a big contract. They're paying him a lot of money. I mean, any thoughts, how they going to get rid of him? I mean, they paid him all that money.
So App State spends $10 million a year on their football program. Texas A&M spends $130-something million a year on their football program. They paid App State a $1.3 million to come in there and whoop their ass. Really, 80-something plays to 38. 80-something plays to 38 plays. It wasn't like just some kind of fluke win for for Appalachian State.
I understand, but I just don't think –
Texas A&M has more money than anybody in the SEC. They have the most money than anybody in the SEC. They'll buy that coach out real quick. He'll be gone.
That's a lot of money to get rid of Jimbo, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I could see it. I was talking to somebody about that earlier in the week, and it is a lot of money. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Jimbo either. I don't think he'll be there long.
Nebraska could have saved $7.5 million if they would have waited till
October. Talked about that. Yep.
To fire Scott Frost.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, how much money would they lose as far as if they fired Jimbo tomorrow? I mean, that'd be a lot of money, wouldn't it?
That'd be a lot of money that they lose, but I mean, who are they going to get? That's the thing. Like, you got to. I mean, are you going to go for?
I think I definitely. That's what I've heard that, and I've heard Nebraska. Urban Meyer wanting to come out and wanting to go to Nebraska at one time. I've heard that as well.
Go Tigers!
Man, you can't recruit out there in the middle of a cornfield. Out there in Nebraska, they ain't got no NIL money out there.
I don't know. That's the last thing Urban Meyer said. He said he would like to play somewhere like Nebraska. Is from what I heard.
How about you bring your ass back to SEC and play some real damn football, you son of a bitch? I hate that. I can't stand it.
Hey, what are you gonna get an NIL deal from the Green Giant? Corn? from the Nebraska State Fair.
Green Giant sells pretty good now.
I'll tell you what, if it did better, also be damn Piggly Wiggly out there.
Hey, old Piggly Wiggly. All right, next game. Marshall. We are Marshall. Upsetting Notre Dame. 26-24, something like 26 something.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
That's right.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, what about this coach? I mean, is he going to get fired after 3 games, or what's going to happen here? I mean, what's your thoughts on that game?
I mean, they promoted this coach from defensive coordinator to head coach when Kelly took that job at LSU. They were saying the players were buying into him, blah, 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 blah. Let's not overreact here. This isn't like a Texas A&M situation. This is the first year head coach for this guy. I don't want to overreact. Notre Dame's not that good. I mean, the media makes them out to be so great, but they're really not that good. So, I mean, it's definitely, if you're a Notre Dame fan, don't want to see Marshall come in and beat you. But I don't want to overreact and send that coach packing yet. I think Jimbo's seat's hotter than his.
Gotcha. Bryson, any thoughts?
Yeah, like Josh just said, I think Jimbo's probably got one of the hottest seats right now in college football. Marshall's running back LeBourne had a good game, 163 yards on 31 carries, 1 touchdown. Notre Dame's quarterback had 2 interceptions. It's cool to see little no name. Well, I wouldn't really say no name, but lower tier college going there to a big D1 and do an upset, kick them out the top 25. I'm loving that. But it's just great to see games like that. We are Marshall, baby.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason you know who they are. It's because of that movie, We Are Marshall.
R.I.P. those people that died in plane crash.
All right. Next game, one of the late games. This game went on to 2 a.m. I don't know if Josh stayed up. I tried to stay up. I honestly stayed up till overtime. I honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I fell asleep at overtime. I did fall asleep at overtime. I tried to stay awake. I apologize. But my Cougars came out and beat Baylor 26-20 in overtime. I know Bryson was asleep in the car, so I know he fell asleep. And didn't watch the game. So Josh,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Josh, tell us how I caught the highlights or whatnot towards the end. Like I said, I called it 2 overtime. Josh, tell us your thoughts on that game.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the game. I was looking at my phone and looking at the game, so I really wasn't paying close attention to the game. I still like Baylor in the Big 12. And I know on the last show I said something about how weird it is playing up there in Utah, that different time zone and different elevation. I think that may have played a part. Yeah, the Mormons. But yeah, I think that may have played a little bit of a part, giving BYU the edge. We're going to see what BYU can do here this weekend. But yeah, I mean, it was a great game. It was very, very late. I was real lethargic at the end. I turned it off and went to bed. Kind of upset that I didn't win that game on my picks. I was mad at Baylor. I was mad at Baylor.
I needed that win so bad. That was probably the biggest win of the season for me so far. I was the only one to pick BYU. I would have only won one game. I mean, I was high on BYU at the beginning of the season. I think Baylor's still a good team, but like I said, when you have 21 out of 25 starters returning, whatever, got a good offensive line. I mean, they're going to be good. I mean, they're going to be decent. Do I expect them? Where'd they ended up being ranked?
12.
12. Oh yeah, that's about right. Bryson, any thoughts?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't watch one snap of this damn game.
Yeah, you did. You watched it in the car a little bit. You fell asleep, but yeah, he was snoring. Hey, Josh. Hey, he was chopping down trees in the car when that game was on. But yeah, you did catch it.
All I hear is lies, but
yeah,
I didn't watch one. I mean, I don't recall watching this game. I woke up at around 3 or 4 in the morning, and I just saw on my phone ESPN BYU won. I said, "Damn it." Turn the phone back over and back to bed. I lost that pick'em game. I didn't really look up this game. I just know that, like Chris just said, BYU's got, make a little name for themselves. Could crack the top 4. We'll see what they're going to do this weekend. But, yeah, I mean, go Cougars.
Gotcha. Yeah, I try to stay up for all the late games. But when you're traveling and the game stays on 2 a.m. and you just get out of the car, I mean, it was hard. It was hard to stay up. I've laid down. It was hard. Like I said, I caught it till overtime. But
hey, what time did y'all get home? Like 12:30?
Yeah, it was a little bit later for Bryson because he came here, and we both had to use the bathroom when we got here. So.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wish I would. I mean, that room's an office now. It used to be a guest bedroom, but
Oh no, I didn't mind driving home. I was just saying it was hard to catch the game. I didn't mind. Yeah,
like
we
for next time,
yeah.
uh, maybe one of y'all can stay here, and then two of y'all can go to Clay's or something.
Yeah. Maybe we'll figure it out. Yeah. We'll figure it out maybe next time if we come up there for the weekend. All right, let's get into the last two games here, or few games here. We'll try to do them not too long. Tennessee defeating Pittsburgh in overtime. Very great game. Tennessee ended up pulling it off. Any thoughts on that game, either one of you guys?
I mean,
Yeah,
Hendon Hooker had a decent game. That offense is pretty explosive. It's good to see. It's good to see SEC teams looking good. We got 8 out of the 25 in the top 25 right now. I love seeing that. I think Tennessee could be the real deal. I think they're going to be giving Florida some trouble, and they might even give Georgia some trouble this year. But yeah, they're looking pretty decent.
Yeah.
yeah. So Kayla does that schedule for me that y'all seen in that binder, and she called me today and was talking about. Do you know Tennessee's number 15? I've never seen them up that high, and I was like, yeah, you probably haven't. But yeah, I bet it feels good for them. For them, man, them garbage truck people up there, Tennessee fans up there, being ranked that high. Yeah, man, their offense is legit. I was actually surprised that Pitt was able to hold them to that many points. Um, so that was a good game. Pitt's good, Tennessee's good. I still like I like Pitt out of the ACC. I mean, I guess we'll see this weekend what Miami's got, but I guess I don't know. But how good is Texas A&M? So we'll see about the ACC and Pitt and Miami and stuff. But I thought it was a good game.
Gotcha. Yeah, very good game. Let's get into the next game. Kentucky taking down Florida.
Oh
Bryson,
boy.
give us your thoughts. I know your boy Richardson wasn't
Yeah, I
too
mean,
hot.
hell, you go play good, you go play bad. How about you choose one? I mean, he like a whole different quarterback out there. He's still my quarterback. I'm still going to root for him, but he looked pressured the whole time. He just looked like there's a whole different quarterback out there. I can't even explain it. He had 2 interceptions. Defense. I am proud of our defense. Defense looked a whole lot better this game than last game. But hopefully, we're facing USF this weekend. Hopefully, get his confidence boosted back up because then we're going to Tennessee next week. So that's going to be a good game. But yeah, like I said, we'll live and see. He was looking pretty damn good. I'm surprised he got up after that one big hit we gave to him. But yeah, Anthony Richardson, I just hope this weekend he can build his confidence back up because last weekend did not look good for him.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think people jumped on him a little bit too high, too early. I think he's still a decent quarterback, but I mean, people, and not just you, it wasn't just Bryson, but I've heard some people jump on him a little bit too high, too early after one game against Utah. That Utah probably should have won, personally. But Josh, any thoughts?
Yeah. So his own coach feeding him the rat poison, comparing him to Cam Newton. The rat poison got to his head, and Florida is a prime example of the overreaction. The overreaction of them beating Utah jumped them up to 12. I do think they're a good team. Kentucky was missing their leading rusher. They were missing their star-studded linebacker out of this game. Um, Kentucky's a little better than I thought. Florida's still a good team, but there was an overreaction to jump them up to 12 like that. I think they set them up for disaster. I think the whole team read into that rat poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Once we got the right number 12, my first reaction is, why the hell we 12? I mean, we should at least be like 20 or 18, I would think. But yeah, when they jumped us to 12, I was like, God, that's my first thing was I hope that don't get to those boys' head thinking that they're the hot shots now. They could be getting in the top 4. But hopefully, like I said, we're facing USF, build a confidence back up. We go face Tennessee next weekend. So
Yeah, and I think there should be a point where rankings week 1 they mean something. Obviously, you're going to move up, but they shouldn't mean as much where you jump up that high. I mean, I think
I
week
agree.
1, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, week one, you could see teams come out. I mean, you see teams come out, and not compared to NFL, but you see teams come out look awful in week one, and then they make a one run all the way to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you could just see that week one, especially first time on the field, in a regular season game since last year. So, I don't know. Last game here, and a couple things. Georgia Southern defeating Nebraska, and down goes Scott Frost. Josh, any thoughts?
Oh, yeah, they should have left him in Ireland when they lost that first game. That was an overreaction to him winning that national championship, so-called national championship at UCF. They got it up on their stadium, 2017 national champions. And then they thought he was going to be the savior out there for them. They should have been done. Let that guy go. He can come to Alabama's Nick Saban's school of wayward coaches if he wants to. He's a good offensive-minded guy.
Gotcha. They did. I was just reading the ESPN. They said Dak Prescott might only be out 4 games, so it's good. It's a good note for the Cowboys, I guess. Bryson, I know you love to see Georgia Southern beat Nebraska.
Oh,
Any
yeah,
thoughts?
love it. I really didn't watch that game to the very end.
Play by play.
I had a parlay going, which But yeah, it's good to see them win. Scott Frost. After his first loss, I kind of figured that he'd be in a hot seat, and just losing to a little school like that, that just boosts the fire up even more. Your ass is done.
And before that, they lost their last 12. So
yeah,
and the thing is, one thing is not to cut you off. They lost them in close games, probably where coaching decisions mattered the most.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I mean, when you lose a lot of close games, I'd argue losing a lot of close games could get you more on the hot seat than losing blowouts because it's more on you than it is on the players. So,
I agree.
But let's go ahead. Does anybody have a rant of the week this week? Does anybody want to rant about anything, or are we going?
Yeah, I want one rant. The kicker, the ginger kicker for the Texas Longhorns, named Bert Auburn. I'm just glad that he didn't his field goal didn't beat us because the headlines would have been Auburn beats Alabama again. So yeah, I just want to rant about that dude's name. And I know he can't help his name and he can't help how he looks, but God dog, dude. That dude, I don't know how he even makes a football team the way he looks. And his hair, his perm hair, his auburn hair coming out of that burnt orange man, what? Dude, get away from me with that shit. I don't ever want to see that guy again.
You're gonna see him again. You're gonna see him in a couple of years. Don't worry.
No,
Texas
comes.
We'll see it. We'll see it. We'll see it. Well, I'm thinking, is he?
Senior? That dude's 12 years old, man. You didn't see his picture.
Well, he might be a freshman then, so you might see him in a couple of years.
Yeah, I hope we get a damn roughing the kicker. I hope we get a roughing the kicker against that dude, man.
Bert Auburn.
Well, if we ain't got no more rants, I know we didn't. Well, the player of the week, Bryson. Who's your player of the week?
My player of the week, I went with Sam Hartman. He went 18 for 27, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns against Vanderbilt. I had Vandy winning that game, but he came out there looking like a dog. I mean, saying that, a season, they have like heart issues, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't, Josh, I can't remember what he had.
Sam Hartman? Yeah, it was some kind of heart
issues. Yeah.
Saying
I think he's full to go now, I think.
Saying you're going to be ruled out, all season and make that comeback your first game. I mean, you can't ask for a better first game. In my opinion, he played good. He looked good. So, yeah, I'm glad to see him come back. Hey, watch out Clemson.
Gotcha. I looked at one of my picks here. Well, my pick here. I went with a running back on Georgia Southern. I went with Callan Laybourne. had 31 carries, 163 yards, and a touchdown against Nebraska.
No, he played.
Did I read the wrong?
That's from Marshall.
Oh, Marshall. I don't know why. I apologize. I don't know why I said Georgia Southern. I read that wrong. Marshall.
Yeah, that's Marshall.
Yes. I totally apologize for Marshall. 31 attempts, 163 yards. I knew it was one of the upsets.
We are Marshall.
Anyway, 163 yards, one touchdown. Marshall beating Notre Dame. Yeah, so I went with him. Quarterback also went 16 for 21. Not bad, but he put up the most yards on the team and won Marshall one of their biggest games. So give me Laybourne. Josh, who you got?
All right. It may not seem like much, but I'm going to go with Georgia Southern's running back. I was just going to go with Caleb Williams for USC. He had big numbers against Stanford. But I'm going to go a little bit off the radar here with Gerald Green, the running back for Georgia Southern, who played for the high school that I call games for, East Coweta. He had 10 carries for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's 10 yards a carry, a little over 10 yards a carry. So,
Gotcha. He was on my short list too. That's probably why I accidentally said him, because he was on my short list for.
but I picked him mainly because he's a local boy here.
Yeah, no, understand. I mean, that's still a pretty good game, especially you only get 10 carries. I mean, you made use of your carries. All right, let's get into the upcoming games. By the way, Preston's not here. He didn't send me his picks, so we will get up that he did not. So
okay.
We will get them later in the week, and we'll write those down and let you know how he did next week. He'll be back next week. He forgot his computer, obviously working. It's tough with him working nights, so we'll figure that out anyway. Let's get into the upcoming games. We're starting Saturday, 12 p.m. Oklahoma at whoever the coach is going to be for Nebraska. Oklahoma favored by 13.5. Bryson, who you going with?
Yeah, give me Oklahoma here. Even though I don't think they're going to have a look like a good team, but just firing Scott Frost and who, like I said, who's going to be the coach, you don't know. But yeah, just give me Oklahoma here.
Gotcha. Josh, who you going with?
All right, this game is in Nebraska.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
All right, so it would not surprise me to see Nebraska come out and throw everything but the kitchen sink at Oklahoma. They have nothing to lose. They're playing with the coach ain't got nothing really to gain or lose. But that doesn't matter. I'm going with the Sooners minus 13.5.
Gotcha. The Sooners minus 13.5. Tough game for me here. I'm going with the route that Josh just said. I'm probably going to put myself further back, but I'm going to go with Nebraska at home plus 13.5. I don't know. I watching that first game, I watched a little bit in Nebraska. I like the quarterback Thompson. I haven't caught many of the other games. I don't know. I think they'll come out. I'm not a believer in Oklahoma. I think they're high ranked. I mean, they deserve to rank number 8, obviously, but I don't know. I'm just not a big believer in Oklahoma, and I don't think maybe, like Josh said, maybe some fire goes up for Nebraska. They're playing at home. I could see, and they lose last year. They lost a lot of close games against a lot of good teams. So, maybe Nebraska surprises some people and keeps this game close. Maybe somehow, some hell and way, they come out with a win. I don't see that, but I think they keep this game close. So, give me Nebraska at home plus 13.5. Next game Saturday, the Border Bash, 3:30. Got Georgia at South Carolina. Georgia favored by 24.5. Josh, coming back to you. Who you going with?
Oh, man, you want me to go first?
I mean, it's a lot of points, man.
It is a lot of points. But Georgia's offense, man, they move so smoothly. It is an early game.
Arkansas put up a good bit many points. I don't know. It's tough for me too. I don't want
to. I am going with South Carolina and the points. I think Georgia wins by 3 touchdowns.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean it's a tough one for me because Georgia didn't Georgia didn't look great last week. But like Josh said, they're playing nobody. They're playing down. They're playing the backups. But Arkansas did put up a lot of points against Carolina. Carolina didn't look great to me in that game. I know they kept it somewhat close. They put up a lot of points as well. I don't expect them to be able to put those points up on Georgia. So I'm gonna take Georgia minus 24.5. Maybe they win. I expect them to win a good game, but I mean, I could see this being close for a while, but I expect Georgia to win by 30 points. Maybe they won't cover, but I don't know. It's a lot of points. It's tough for me. Bryson, who are you going with?
It's good to have friends that like other college football teams. So shout out to Graham right here. I did not know this, but South Carolina's starting linebacker and defensive end both tore their ACL last week during the game. So, and he also gave me some crazy stat that South Carolina is ranked 147 out of 150 for yards on defense, on yards per carry on a run. So their run defense is not good. But the thing is, they're playing in Columbia. And
Kenny McIntosh might have a big game. Sorry.
I mean, they always give Georgia a run for their money when they're in Columbia. 24 points is a lot, so give me South Carolina.
Gotcha. I'm either moving on up like the Jeffersons, or I'm going straight downhill. I can tell you that right now. I'm gonna play that in the back with. If I win next week, that's gonna be the theme song in the background. Anyway, all right. Next game, we got Penn State at Auburn. Penn State favored by 3.5. Josh. Actually, we'll go with Bryson this time since we let off with Josh last time. Bryson, where are you going in this game?
Chris, I'm going Penn State here. I'm pretty high on Penn State. I was pretty high on them last year. I think they got I think they're ranked 22 now, if I'm not mistaken. Move on to the rankings this week. I like Penn State here. I don't think Auburn's that good, even though their defense is pretty decent. But yeah, give me Penn State here by like 3 touchdowns.
Ooh. I don't know much about either one of these teams. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna pick.
I see Josh laughing over there.
What's he laughing about?
I don't know about 3 touchdowns, man.
Yeah, three touchdowns. That's a lot. That is
in Auburn.
Yeah, in Auburn. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know too much about these teams. One thing I do know is Auburn barely beat San Jose State. So give me Penn State minus 3.5. I don't think it's gonna be about 3 touchdowns though. Let me say 10 points. Josh, who you got?
Is this about to be a?
I like to watch Auburn lose. So I was in here watching the San Jose State and Auburn game, man, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. San Jose State just slinging the ball all over Auburn's defenders. Like they went into halftime. It was close, and then Auburn kind of pulled away at the end. It was still kind of close. I think Penn State wins by a touchdown.
That's what you call the sweeper.
Yeah, the sweep. You want with the sweep.
Sweep. All right. Next game. One of the weird lines here, I think, but maybe not. BYU at Oregon. Oregon favored by 3.5 after BYU is ranked number 12, and Oregon got the break speed off of them against Georgia. Maybe Georgia's that good. Oregon did come out and put up 70 points last week, but I'm bleeding it off. I'm taking BYU plus 3.5. Josh, coming back to you secondly here. Who you going with?
Yep, I got BYU plus 3.5. I think they're going to ride that momentum into Eugene, and I think it's going to take Dan Lanning a couple of years to get everything going over there in Oregon like he wants to.
It is one difference. They're not. Didn't they? What in the world was that? Somebody's mic.
The fuck was that?
Yeah, it is one difference. Didn't BYU? They played their first 2 games at home, correct?
Yeah.
So they are going to Oregon. So yeah, and it's at 3:30. So it could be a difference here. Who knows? Bryce, are you going to be the first person to take Oregon, or are you taking BYU?
I'll tell you what, get your brooms out, boys, because it's about to be another sweep right here. I'm going with BYU. I said from the start, I think Oregon's overrated, and they got all these jerseys for what? For what reason? to lose a damn game. Give me BYU big here. I'll talk about big. 4 touchdowns to Cougars.
Jesus. He's putting out some bold predictions. Next game, very close line here. Mississippi State at LSU. LSU favored by 2.5. Bryson, coming back to you. Who are you going with?
Chris, I'm going Mississippi State here. I don't think Brian Kelly ain't going to last long down there in the Bayou. I'm not a big fan of LSU. I think they got a little too much hype around them, but give me Mississippi State.
Gotcha. Josh, what you thinking here?
What time is this game?
This game is at 3:30, I believe. No, it's at 6 p.m. Sorry, Saturday. LSU's favored by 2.5 at LSU.
6 p.m. Eastern time. So that'd be 5.
Well, I mean, we do go by Eastern time zone, so I hope so.
Well, that means the game will be at 5.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Will be at 5 local time that they're playing. And I'm glad that Bryson went first. I was going to go with Mississippi State, that the air raid offense that they run down there. Oh, man, but it's at LSU. I think Brian Kelly's back's against the wall. I think it could go either way. And since I think it can go either way, I'm going to cross out the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and I'm going to put the Tigers of LSU minus 2.5.
Yeah, I had no idea what to do with this game. That's one of the reasons I put this game on there. Expect this to be a very good game. But like Josh said, they're playing at LSU. I'm not going to pick against them in LSU with, Brian Kelly's back against the wall, whatnot. They're supposed to have some good offensive talent. Haven't seen it yet. But, give me LSU minus 2.5. Saturday, 7 p.m., Texas Tech at NC State. NC State favored by 10.5. NC State has not impressed me yet. But Josh, where are you going with?
Man, Texas Tech, didn't they win last week, surprisingly?
Against Houston, I believe, correct?
Houston or TCU or Houston?
Overtime. Houston, yeah. Houston's lost 2 games in overtime, I believe.
I think they have a letdown. And this game's in North Carolina State.
Yes, they are in NC State.
I'm going with the Wolfpack, baby. Woo!
Bryson, who are you going with?
So I guess we got North Carolina State, the Josh's favorite teams, right below Tennessee. Give me Texas Tech here. Like Chris said, I think they're a little overrated. I don't see see a lot of talent for them. But I'm going with Texas Tech. Shout out to Michael Crabtree.
Gotcha. 10.5, a lot of points. Played against East Carolina. Early. I know it was a close. I want to say it was a close game for the first quarter for against Charleston Southern, even though they beat them 55-3. But I was high on NC State in the season. I was high on the defense. I think everybody was pretty high on them. But yeah, there's going to be a prove themselves. They're going to have to prove themselves here at home. I think they're going to cover. So give me NC State minus 10.5. All right, next game. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. I don't know. I can't remember where Michigan State's ranked.
11.
11. So Michigan State at Washington. Where's Washington ranked? They're ranked too.
Not ranked.
They're not ranked. Okay. Well, anyway, Michigan State at Washington. Last time I looked, Washington was favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to double check that line.
No, you're still right.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm still right because God bless. I don't know why. I mean, I know Washington's been good in the past, but I don't know. Bryson, who you got?
Michigan State and Washington, they haven't faced really no good teams yet. Both both games they've been blowing the other teams out. This is their first real matchup against each other. I haven't heard anything good about Washington in a long time until that Georgia Jacob Eason, whatever his name, went over there for Georgia. That's the last time I heard anything about Washington. But I'm going Michigan State here.
Yeah, I think they had a good running back at one point too. But I can't remember. Same line. I mean, Michigan State. Yeah, I'm just taking the higher ranked team. Maybe this is a trap. This is a trap for us. Maybe Josh picks Washington, but I'm taking Michigan State. Josh, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the AP people are thinking, or who, or what Vegas is thinking, because how can you have a team that's ranked 11, like not 19 or 20,
They
but
know
11?
something we don't. I'm saying they know something we don't.
They
And
got to.
somehow
You know,
Washington's gonna come out and win this game by
I
3.
mean,
I don't know. I just
you are playing way out there on the other side of the dang country. That maybe that's taking in effect. Um, I'd like to see Michigan State win this game, so I'm going to go with Michigan State plus 3.5. And you went Michigan State as well, Chris.
yeah, we all went Michigan State. Yep. Nobody had a bold prediction on that one.
Sweeper.
All right, let's go to the big game of the week. Big game of the week is going to be Saturday, 9 p.m. Good time. 9. I kind of like the 9
Yeah.
Damn,
p.m.
9
games.
o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yeah, it's
I like
Saturday.
those.
I like the
Shit,
night game.
I might be asleep.
Oh, come on. You ain't going to be asleep on no Saturday at 9 o'clock. Even though there's not a whole lot of good games during the day. I mean,
So
I wouldn't say
it's at 8 o'clock Texas time. So
yeah.
it's
I wouldn't
prime
say
time.
these are like all these games are like crazy games. I'm like totally looking forward to. I mean, there's a lot of good games, but I don't know. Anyway, big game of the week. When we have a big game of the week, is Miami, Texas A&M. It's not a whole lot of great games, but Miami at Texas A&M. A&M favored by 5.5. I'm starting it off. They lost to Appalachian State. Maybe they should come out. I'm talking myself out of it, but they're at home. Maybe they should come out and somehow beat Miami, but I don't know. I think maybe they should blow out Miami, but I just think maybe Miami's a different team. Give me Miami. Maybe I'm probably taking the wrong pick here, but Josh, who you going with? Are you going A&M?
All right. So I'm probably going against my better judgment here because, let me write this down real quick. All right. Because Jimbo Fisher's he's got to gather the sheep, if you know what I mean. He's got to pull this team back together before it gets out of hand. And it will be in College Station. They got the home of the 12th man, and the crowd will play a factor. Miami has a great quarterback. They say Van Dyke is a good pro prospect quarterback. I probably should go with A&M, but I'm going to go with Miami, and maybe A&M wins by a field goal, kind of cool off that seat for
I don't know.
Jimbo.
I'm worried Josh is taking the right side. I'm worried you're taking the right side because, Texas A&M definitely needs to win this game. They need to come in and win this game. But in
But
Miami,
I'm going with Miami.
Yeah. Oh, you are taking Miami?
Yeah.
The points? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
I'm just saying I'm probably picking wrong because of my hatred for Jimbo Fisher. I hope he loses by 3 touchdowns.
Oh,
But
okay. Gotcha.
yeah, I'm probably going against my better judgment here. SEC school, Miami's got a lot of hype. Don't know how good they are. I think we'll find out how good they are. But if they can go into College Station in that environment and get a win, that would really solidify them being on the up and up. But I think Jimbo, maybe he only pulls it out by a field goal, so my Miami pick will still be good.
Gotcha. Bryson, who you going with?
The 2 teams I absolutely hate. No love for them at all. I don't like Jimbo. Just as much need a win for Jimbo to stay at A&M. But I'm a sucker for the SEC. I'm still going to SEC, even though I hate to saying it. Give me Texas A&M here. Like I said, Jimbo needs to win this game. If not, that fire is going up a little bit higher. Get your ass out of there. But yeah, I think Miami's really overrated. They've been overrated for the past, in my opinion, 5-10 years. But yeah, give me A&M here.
Gotcha. Lock of the week. I'll guess I'll lead it off here. I didn't write down a lock of the week, but I think I'm going to go with the easiest one. I'm going to take the easy way out. I really want to take Nebraska here. Something's telling me Nebraska is going to come out and somehow shock the world. But I'm going to take BYU plus 3.5 at Oregon for my lock of the week because I'm 0-2, I believe. I believe I'm 0-2 for my locks. I believe I lost mine last week as well. So could be wrong, but
You did. You had Texas A&M.
yeah. So
I had
terrible,
Florida.
terrible pick. Yeah. What did Bryson have?
Bryson had App State 2 weeks in a row, so he's got his. Too
Gotcha.
bad they're
Hey,
not on the schedule this week.
well, I mean, we'd let. I mean, are we going outside the? Are
No,
we picking outside game?
We can go outside.
Okay, I know Preston picked outside the first week, so
You can go
anyway,
outside, I imagine.
I mean, he could take App State again. Bryson could take him minus 12.5. Josh,
All
who you
right,
going with?
let me get the Nittany Lions going down to the Plains and upsetting them, keeping the toilet paper in the bathrooms down there, keeping the toilet paper in the shitter down there in Auburn.
Minus 3.5 for Penn State against Auburn. Bryson, do you have a lock of the week?
Chris, I do have a lock of the week. I picked in week 1, and I picked in week 2, and I'm picking in week 3. Give me Appalachian State favorite 12.5 against Troy. They just beat A&M. They get that chip on their shoulder. They're feeling confident, and they're playing great offense. Defense looking but that offense is looking
I think
great.
they're feeling too confident.
Give me App State.
Yeah.
I'll give you another bold prediction.
Don't
Give me App State 35-10.
don't. I mean,
I'm gonna write that down.
good.
I'm gonna write that down. 35-10.
Maybe Troy comes out and put up 63 on them, like sorry ass North Carolina did.
Hey, Troy's pretty good. All right, so I just want to add something real quick. Now I know that Alabama underperformed big time in Texas, but USC, number 7 USC, at home against Fresno State is only favored by 12. Now, if Fresno State was traveling to Tuscaloosa, to Sanford Stadium, to the Horseshoe in Ohio State, all 3 of those teams will be favored by 3 touchdowns or more against Fresno State. So this is something for USC to, maybe they can blow them out and really solidify, what they were trying to do out there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just couldn't believe that it was only 12.
Yeah, no. That was one of the games I was close to putting on here. That was one of the next games I was close to putting on here, but I didn't. Who's Alabama got this week, Josh?
Louisiana Monroe.
Ooh.
What about them Gators, Bryce? You know?
USF.
South Florida.
Uh-oh. And Georgia's got Carolina. Clemson's got can't remember who Clemson's got. Does anybody know?
I think Graybrier.
Clemson has
You say
Louisiana Tech.
Oh.
So they play Furman and they back it up with Louisiana Tech. I mean, at least if you're going to play cheesy teams, spread them out a little bit.
Gotcha, yeah.
It's
hard to do that.
Yeah, you got to get your wins. We got to get your wins. You know what I'm saying?
All right, last thing here, top 4. Do we have a top 4? I'll go ahead and do mine. I know last week I had Alabama as number 1. Can't do that this week. Georgia is going to be my number 1. Leading it off, of course. I mean, Georgia should be everybody's number 1 now. I think easily. I think Josh kind of likes that as well. But I'm not dropping Alabama too far. They're going to be right behind them. They're going to be number 2 for me. My list is not going to be too much different. I'm going to go Ohio State, number 3, and Michigan. I'm waiting to see them play a big team, a really good team, but I'm still keeping them at number 4. So that is my top 4. Josh, who you got?
All right, so I'm gonna switch it up a little bit this week. All right, so I'm gonna go Georgia number 1.
Yep.
I'm gonna put Michigan number 2.
Oh, come on, boo!
I put
Boo!
Big Blue number 2. Defending Big Ten champs. They just blew Hawaii back to Hawaii. Like they beat the crap out of Hawaii.
So did Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put Michigan number 2 in my top 4 this week, followed by Alabama and then Ohio State.
Oh, come on!
I'm taking Clemson out of my top 4 until they play somebody else. I mean, Furman and now Louisiana Tech, and like they let Furman put up 12, 15 points or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, technically Michigan hadn't played nobody either. I mean, Hawaii is not good the way it looked. Vanderbilt beat the hell out of them, but
okay, so Michigan beats Hawaii 50-something to 3. Clemson beats beats Furman at home.
Vanderbilt beats
But-
Hawaii 63-10. So I mean, come on, it's not much of a difference. But I don't know. One thing I'll say, I think Josh is doing it because he wants everybody to be down on Alabama right now. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
But,
I want all the teams out there to watch this podcast and just realize that Alabama ain't shit. Texas almost beat Alabama. Texas should have beat Alabama. If viewers would have been in, Texas would have beat Alabama by 3 touchdowns, man.
Yeah. Anyway, Bryson, do you have a top 4?
I do got top 4, but I got something else.
Get your toes off the screen. Get your toes off the screen.
Sorry.
Yeah, please God,
Sorry.
get your toes off the screen. You don't have to blur that out. I wasn't even paying attention. Put your
The
leg down,
dogs are
man.
out, boys.
Put your leg down. Jesus Christ.
Listen.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, Bryce, go ahead. Come on, top 4.
All right. I'll get top 4 in a second. Why ain't App State in the top 25 or the top 20? I don't agree with that at all.
I agree with it. The North Carolina put up 63 points on them. And North Carolina, Georgia State almost beat North Carolina. App State needs to win another game. If they win this next game against Troy, I know Troy's not good. If they win it and they win it convincingly, put them at number 24 or 25.
Yeah. Well, all I got to say is put some fucking respect on App State. They deserve to be the top 20. Here we go. Bryce's top 4. 1, University of Georgia. 2, the University of Ohio State. 3, I'm going Michigan. 4, going Bama.
I hate how y'all putting Bama way down there. I mean, it's probably deserving. Bama didn't play that good and they didn't look great, but I mean, they still have the best quarterback in the game of college football. So I don't know, and probably the best player in Will Anderson. So I mean, they still got very good talent. But anyway,
all right. One more thing, real quick. Just a bold take here.
Yeah.
Kind of off the radar. A second.
No, you're good.
Let's see.
Bryce, you and your toes, man. Go on now. Nobody wants to see your damn toe. I'm gonna have to make this a audio only podcast because nobody wants to see your ass.
I shout my OnlyFans.
Jesus Christ.
What conference is Boise State in? All right, there they are.
Boise State.
All right. So I got a bold prediction here. I got Air Force going undefeated all the way until they play Boise State. Maybe even after that. Maybe Air Force finishes the season undefeated.
Damn.
But Josh, I hate to tell you, that wasn't really that bold, man. You didn't sound too confident. You got to say Air Force is going to finish the season undefeated. He's too nervous.
I mean,
he's too worried with it.
I'm looking at their schedule, man. After Boise State, they really don't have nobody. New Mexico,
Boise
Colorado.
State good anymore? I know Kellen Moore, who's on the Dallas offensive coordinator, can't call plays for shit because they could have kept running the ball. So that's the only thing I know about Boise State.
Well, Oregon State beat Boise State.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a bold prediction.
What's that?
Go and write this down on that little piece of paper you got, Josh. Appalachian State goes undefeated the rest of the season, and I'll tell you this: they finish top 15 or better. Write that down for you.
If they go undefeated, why not put them in the top 5, top 10?
No, they've already lost one game.
They already lost one game.
I forgot. They gave up 6 to get 3 points to get sorry ass North Carolina.
Put some respect in their damn name.
God, I can't wait to watch Troy beat them this week. Troy's gonna beat them.
Air Force, Colorado's not too shabby of a team. You know what I mean? And Air Force beat them 41-10.
Yeah. All I know is Troy's going to beat App State this week. Anyway, all right. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and end this. We'll be back for week 4. We did just do the NFL show, so if you haven't checked that out yet, check out that. Me, Josh, and my brother Clay, we do that.
And I will write Preston's picks down on the sheet when he sends them in on the group text. So he needs to send them in, before Friday because I've got a work football game Friday night, and I won't want to write it all down Saturday morning.
Gotcha. We also want to do. I also want to go live for some college football games, so we might do that sometime. I don't know if we'll do it.
Chris,
We're
I have an
always
idea.
busy. Yes.
So you know how in the NFL podcast y'all have like y'all's fantasy, right? How about we do like a parlay for college football?
Like a parlay each time. I mean, we've done a little bit of fantasy. We'll talk about it. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do that next week. Do a parlay. Maybe
We'll
pick
go
up.
live. We'll go live like Saturday like at 11 or something, and just kind of write down what we would bet on.
Yeah.
Hey, if we get any live viewers, if y'all want to do live college football, I can set my laptop under the TVs and give all the viewers that want to tune in the real college football experience at the Welter household.
Maybe, hey, how about this? Maybe we can go live and maybe we can get Josh to come on when me and you are live at the house. Maybe sometime. I don't know if we can do it this weekend, but I think if we do something like that, I know we're rambling on here, but if we do something like that, I think what we should do, I think our 4 locks of the week, we should all have 4 different locks a week, and that could be a parlay. I think our 4 locks of the week would be the parlay. I think that would be the parlay.
Yeah, that'd probably be it.
Yeah, and that could be something. It could be something like that. Maybe you could put it in and just be something for fun. But yeah, we'll do something like that. Maybe we go live this Saturday. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We always do stuff on Saturday. Maybe we go live for the big game of the week, 9 p.m. We'll see what everybody's doing, but we'll talk about it later.
I'm having a surprise birthday party for my sister.
Gotcha.
Y'all see my sister? She came. Was y'all still here when she got here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one your sister was, but
little short, blonde-headed girl. She got here.
To my Matt's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was your sister. I had no idea.
Matt's wife.
Yeah, or Matt's wife. Excuse me. I had no idea that was your sister. I've met her before. Yeah, I met her. Yeah, I've met her before. So,
Hold on.
So
you met her brother-in-laws?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. All right. Nobody cares about this. All right.
What?
Make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube. Follow Apple Podcasts, whatever you do there. Download the podcast on Spotify. I know I don't have anything up here for Spotify. I need to do that. But yeah, appreciate you watching. Peace.
Go App State, baby.